The congressional act that followed the 1995 Oslo Accords called for the U.S. to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, as well as to move the U.S. embassy there from Tel Aviv. There was an escape clause in the act that allowed the president to delay recognition and the move by 6 months. That escape clause has been exercised twice a year ever since, until now. There are at least two noteworthy observations to make about these events. When Bill Clinton first exercised the escape clause in 1996, he was viciously attacked by Republicans, notably Senator John Kyl, Republican of Arizona, and Senator Sam Brownback, Republican of Kansas, now the bankrupting governor of his state, claiming that Clinton was in contempt of Congress. You may recall that this was during the Newt Gingrich Contract with America era, when the Republicans in Congress made it clear that they had the sole objective of opposing anything Clinton. What was so very odd is that each time George W. Bush signed that same escape clause, which he did 16 times, neither Kyl nor Brownback nor any other Republican seemed to have a problem with that. And the same kind of duplicity on every issue is exactly what happened in the Obama era. Those heady Republican days when Mitch McConnell reminded us that job one for Republicans was ensuring that Obama would be a one-term president. Let's look at this type of behavior in another context. During the Clinton presidency, Gingrich and his howlers appointed Ken Starr to be independent counsel to investigate Clinton's dealings in the failed real estate deal known as Whitewater. Finding nothing legally actionable there, Starr proceeded to investigate every nuance of both Clintons for 5 years and continued to find nothing actionable until the Monica Lewinsky affair at last allowed them to smear the president publicly. There were no Republicans then claiming that Starr's wandering investigation was a witch hunt. There were no objections to partisan digging for dirt, no attacks on the Department of Justice, no wailing of improper actions on the part of the independent counsel. Now, though, there's a chorus of Republicans in Congress with abhorrent accusations against both the FBI and Robert Mueller as he conducts his investigation into Trump campaign collusion with the Russians. It's the same kind of duplicity as for the Jerusalem issue. That leads to the second point. I've scoured sources looking for an upside to the U.S. of Trump's declaring of formally recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. That's something that most nations have not done. This in an effort to avoid becoming an obstacle to a peaceful solution to the strife in the region. What is the possible good that will come of recognizing Jerusalem as the capital and of moving the embassy? Trump's declaration has surely been good for militant Palestinians and Muslims around the world, as they have already reacted with demonstrations and violence. Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli hardliners like the in-your-face value that comes of Trump's declaration. But what about the value for the U.S.? All I can find of value here is the pleasure that so-called evangelicals derive from some self-satisfying biblical notions they hold, as well as the glee of hardcore Trump supporters for his sticking it to somebody. That might garner more votes for Roy Moore to become Senator Pedophile and keep that Alabama Senate seat Republican. That, in turn, may help Trump to further destroy American culture and values. Truly, I have not found a single benefit to the United States beyond that, if you can truly call those benefits. Meanwhile, connect the dots to congressional Republicans. Where's their outrage over Trump sabotaging the possibility for peace in the Middle East? What happened to conservative calls for what serves this country? This isn't my father's Republican Party, and we are the worse for that. I'm Jack Alshuler.